I'm ashamed to admit what I'm about to tell you. I'm 69 years old. She was 22. That's a 47-year age gap. I know exactly how that sounds, but when you've lived alone in a foreign country for 15 years, when your kids stopped calling, when every morning you wake up to silence, you become vulnerable in ways you never imagined. I woke up that morning in Cebu City to find my bank account completely empty. $73,000. Gone. Transferred while I slept in the bed beside her, the bed I paid for. In the condo I rented. For the girl who called me baby and made me feel like I wasn't dying alone in a country thousands of miles from where I was born. My name is Donald. I'm a retired electrical engineer from Ohio. Came to the Philippines in 2010 after my divorce. Thought I'd live cheaper, stretch my pension, maybe find some peace. For 13 years, I kept to myself, made a few expat friends, played golf, lived quietly. I wasn't looking for a young Filipina girlfriend. I'd seen those guys. The 70-year-olds holding hands with girls young enough to be their granddaughters. I judged them, called them pathetic. Told myself I'd never be that desperate. Then I met Janelle. It happened at Robinson's Mall in January 2023. I was buying groceries. She was working at a phone accessories kiosk. I needed a new phone case. Simple transaction. But when I walked up to her booth, she smiled at me. Not the polite customer service smile. A real smile. Her eyes lit up. She touched my arm when she showed me the cases. "You have nice style, sir," she said. Her English was good, better than most. Very modern phone for mature gentlemen. I should have walked away right then. But you have to understand. I was 69 years old. I hadn't been on a date in 8 years. My ex-wife took everything in the divorce, including my confidence. My son lived in California and called maybe twice a year. My daughter hadn't spoken to me since I moved to the Philippines, said I was running away from my responsibilities as a grandfather. I was lonely. The kind of lonely that makes your chest hurt at night. Janelle was beautiful. Long black hair, smooth skin, bright eyes. She wore tight jeans and a crop top that showed her flat stomach. When she leaned over the counter to show me phone cases, I could smell her perfume. Something sweet. Something young. "What's your name?" I asked. "Janelle," she said. "What's yours, sir?" "Donald." "And you don't have to call me sir." She giggled, covered her mouth with her hand. "Okay, Donald. You want this case? Very good quality. I bought 3 cases. Didn't need 3. Didn't even need one. But I stood there talking to her for 20 minutes. She asked where I was from, how long I'd been in Cebu, if I liked it here, normal questions. But the way she looked at me while I answered like she actually cared about what I was saying, I hadn't felt that in years. "Before I left," she said, "you should come back. Maybe I can help you with other phone problems." I came back 3 days later, bought a charging cable. Talked to her for 30 minutes. She told me she was 22, studying business administration at USC, working part-time to help her family. From Bohol originally, living with cousins in Cebu. "You're very kind," she said. "Most foreigners, they just buy and leave. You actually talk to me like person." I felt something shift in my chest. Validation. Importance. Like I mattered to someone. I came back again the next week, and the week after that. By the 5th visit, I asked if she wanted to get coffee sometime. She smiled that smile again. "I would love that, Donald. But I don't want you to think I'm just after foreigner money. Some girls here, they do that. But I'm not like that. I don't think that at all," I said. Even though a tiny voice in my head whispered, "She's 47 years younger than you. What else could this be?" I ignored that voice. We met for coffee at Bo's Coffee the following Saturday. She showed up in a yellow sundress. Looked stunning. I wore my best polo shirt. Tried to suck in my gut. When we sat down, I was hyper-aware of every wrinkle on my face, every age spot on my hands. But she didn't seem to notice. Or if she did, she didn't care. We talked for 2 hours. She told me about her family, her dreams of finishing college, her love of Korean dramas and pop music. I told her about my life in Ohio, my career, my kids. She listened. Actually listened. Asked questions. Laughed at my stories. "You're not like I thought foreigners would be," she said. "You're gentle, sweet. So many so many foreigners here are rude." She'd almost said, "old foreigners." I caught it, pretended I didn't. When the check came, I paid without thinking twice. When I drove her home on my motorcycle, she wrapped her arms around my waist. I felt her body pressed against my back. Young, warm, alive. I felt alive too, for the first time in years. That night, I looked in the mirror, really looked. Grey hair, deep lines around my eyes, sagging jowls. A belly I couldn't get rid of, no matter how much I walked. I was 69 years old. She was 22, but she'd smiled at me like I was somebody, like I wasn't just a lonely old man counting down his days in a foreign country. I told myself age was just a number. That connection was what mattered, that maybe, just maybe, she saw something in me that others didn't. I was wrong about all of it. We started dating, if you could call it that. I took her to dinner twice a week, bought her small gifts, a bracelet, new shoes. She always protested at first. "Donald, you don't have to buy me things. I just like spending time with you." But she always accepted them, always wore them the next time I saw her. 1 month in, we went to Ayala Mall. Walking through the food court, I felt the stares. A group of Filipino teenagers whispered and laughed. A woman my age, white, probably Australian, shook her head in disgust. An older Filipino man said something in Visayan to his wife. They both looked at me and Janelle. I knew what they were thinking. Sugar daddy, dirty old man, cradle robber. Janelle squeezed my hand. "Don't pay attention to them, baby. They're just jealous. Baby." She'd started calling me that. Made me feel ridiculous and thrilled at the same time. We sat down at Jollibee. The young guy taking our order looked at Janelle, then at me, then back at Janelle. His expression said everything, disgust mixed with pity for her. "Is this your—" he started. "Boyfriend," Janelle said quickly, smiling. "This is my boyfriend." The word made my stomach flip. Boyfriend. At 69 years old, I had a 22-year-old girlfriend. We ate our chicken joy in silence. I couldn't shake the feeling that everyone in the restaurant was watching us, judging us, calculating the age gap. "Donald, are you okay?" Janelle asked. "You look worried." "I'm fine," I lied. "Just thinking." "Thinking about what?" "About us. About what people think." She reached across the table and held my hand. Her skin was so smooth. No veins showing. No age spots. Mine looked like a road map of liver spots and wrinkles. "I don't care what people think," she said. "You make me happy. That's all that matters." I wanted to believe her so badly. 2 weeks later, my friend Greg called me. Greg was another American expat, 71, been in the Philippines for 20 years. Married to a Filipina his own age. "Don, we need to talk," he said. "I heard you're seeing a young girl. Her name is Janelle. And yes, we're dating." "How young?" I hesitated. 22. Silence. On the other end, then, "Jesus Christ, Don. You're 69 years old." "I'm aware of my age, Greg." "Are you?" "Because from where I'm standing, you're making a fool of yourself. These girls, they target old guys like you. Guys with pensions, guys who are lonely. Janelle's not like that. They're all like that." Greg's voice rose. "Don, I've been here 20 years. I've seen this story 100 times. Old foreigner, young Filipina, promises of love. It always ends the same way. Your bank account gets drained. You don't know her," I said, anger building in my chest. "She's different." "That's what they all say. Look, come to my house this weekend. Meet some guys who've been through this. Let them tell you their stories." "I don't need to hear their stories." "Don, I'm happy, Greg. For the first time in years, I'm actually happy. Why can't you just be happy for me?" "Because I care about you, you stubborn bastard. And I don't want to watch you get destroyed." I hung up on him, blocked his number. He wasn't the only one. My daughter Amanda called from Seattle 2 days later. "Dad, Uncle Greg called me. He says you're dating a girl younger than me. Amanda was 37. Her age doesn't matter. I said, Dad, she's 22. What could you possibly have in common with a 22-year-old? We have plenty in common. Like what? Does she even remember 9/11? Does she know who Kurt Cobain is? Dad, when she was born, you were already 47 years old. You could be her grandfather. That word, grandfather, it hit like a punch. I don't need your permission, Amanda. I'm not giving you permission. I'm trying to protect you. These women, they see an old American with money and she's not after my money. How do you know? Because I know. Because she makes me feel alive. Because when I'm with her, I don't feel like a 70-year-old man waiting to die alone in a country where nobody gives a damn about me. Silence. Dad, Amanda said softly. Is that what this is about? You're lonely? I have to go, I said, and ended the call. I cut off everyone who questioned it. Greg, Amanda, 2 other expat friends who'd gently suggested I was making a mistake. My son Tyler sent a brief text. Dad, be careful. Don't do anything stupid. I didn't respond. I isolated myself from every voice of reason, because hearing the truth meant admitting something I wasn't ready to admit. But alone at night, their words echoed. She could be your granddaughter. What does a 22-year-old see in a 69-year-old man? Your bank account gets drained. I pushed the thoughts away, focused on how Janelle made me feel. Young, wanted, important. I told myself everyone else was jealous. They didn't understand. They couldn't see what we had. 3 months into our relationship, Janelle wanted to go dancing. Her cousin was having a birthday party at a club in Mango Square. Please come, baby, she said. I want to show you off to my family. Show me off. The words should have been a warning. I went, wore my best button-up shirt, took my blood pressure medication and my metformin before leaving. Popped 2 ibuprofen for my knee. The club was loud. Too loud. Music I didn't recognize. Young people everywhere. Dancing, drinking, laughing. Janelle fit right in. I felt like an alien. Her cousins were all in their 20s. They stared at me when Janelle introduced me. One girl, maybe 19, asked in Visayan, Lolo ba niya? Is he her grandfather? They thought I couldn't understand. I'd picked up enough Visayan to catch it. Janelle laughed. No, this is my boyfriend, Donald. The girls exchanged looks, tried to hide their smiles. Failed. We danced. Or rather, Janelle danced and I swayed awkwardly beside her. My knees hurt, my back hurt. The bass was so loud I could feel it in my chest, mixing with my irregular heartbeat in a way that made me nervous. After 20 minutes, I was exhausted, sweating, out of breath. Baby, I need to sit down, I shouted over the music. Already? We just got here. I'm sorry. My knees. Okay. She looked disappointed, led me to a table. You sit. I'll dance with my cousins for a little bit. I watched her move on the dance floor. She was energy itself, bouncing, spinning, laughing. Her body moved like water, young, flexible, tireless. I sat there, 69 years old, knees throbbing, wondering what the hell I was doing. A young Filipino guy, maybe 25, gym-built, handsome, started dancing near Janelle. Then with Janelle, she didn't push him away, laughed, danced closer. Jealousy burned through me. But what could I do? Get up and dance? I'd had my 20 minutes. I was done. The guy said something to her. She laughed and pointed at me. He looked over, smirked, waved, then kept dancing with my girlfriend. We left an hour later. On the motorcycle ride home, Janelle said, You didn't have fun. I'm just not a club person anymore. Anymore? Were you ever? She didn't say it meanly, just factually, and she was right. Even when I was young, clubs weren't my scene. But the difference was stark now. She belonged in that world. I was a visitor. An old visitor. The physical gaps kept showing themselves. We went hiking at Osmena Peak. She ran up the trail. I climbed slowly, stopping every 50 feet to catch my breath. My heart pounded. My legs shook. At the top, she was barely winded. I thought I might have a heart attack. "Baby, you okay? You look very red," she said. "Just out of shape," I wheezed. "Maybe you should exercise more. Stay healthy for me." But the implication was clear. You're old. You need to work harder to keep up. In bed, things got worse. I'd been taking Viagra since before I met Janelle. At my age, it was necessary. But even with the medication, I couldn't perform like a young man. I got tired quickly, needed recovery time measured in days, not hours. Janelle never complained. But I saw her disappointment. The way she'd scroll through her phone afterward instead of cuddling. The way she'd suggest we just cuddle tonight, more and more often. One night, after I'd failed to maintain an erection even with the pills, she sighed. "It's okay, baby. You're stressed. It happens. I'm sorry," I said, shame burning through me. "Don't be sorry. You're not a young man anymore. It's normal. Not a young man anymore." The words hung in the air. I started taking more Viagra, double doses. My doctor would have been horrified. But I was terrified. Terrified she'd leave me for someone who could satisfy her. Someone young. Someone whose body didn't betray him. At a restaurant one evening, I had to use the bathroom twice during dinner. Prostate issues. Getting old. When I came back the second time, Janelle was on her phone, looking bored. "Sorry," I said. "At my age, the plumbing doesn't work like it used to." "It's fine," she said, not looking up from her screen. I watched her scroll through TikTok. Videos of young couples dancing, young guys showing off their muscles, K-pop stars, a world I didn't understand and couldn't enter. "What are you watching?" I asked. "Just TikTok." "What's it about?" She showed me a video of some young guy doing a dance challenge. "It's funny." I watched. Didn't get it. Felt old. Felt obsolete. That night, I looked in the mirror again. The gray hair, the wrinkles, the sagging skin, the belly, the age spots on my hands and face. I was 69 years old. She was 22. She had her whole life ahead of her. I was on the back nine, probably the last few holes. What did she see in me? I was afraid I already knew the answer. 4 months in, Janelle's phone broke. At least, that's what she said. "Baby, I'm so sorry to ask, but my phone stopped working. I need it for school, for work. Can you help me?" I bought her a new iPhone, $1,200. She kissed me, thanked me, was extra affectionate for the next week. Her mother got sick, needed medicine, $500. I sent it. Her cousin's wedding. She needed a nice dress, $300. Tuition was due. Her scholarship didn't cover it all, $2,000. The family needed to repair their roof in Bohol, $800. Her brother got in an accident, needed hospital bills paid. $1,500. I started tracking it. Not officially, just in my head. By month 6, I'd given her over $8,000, not including the dinners, the gifts, the groceries I bought when she stayed over. But I told myself it was worth it. She needed help. Her family was struggling. I had money. What else was I going to spend it on? Then I noticed the pattern. When I spent money, she was loving, affectionate, called me baby, and held my hand, initiated sex, texted me constantly. When money got tight, when I said I needed to be careful because of my fixed income, she got cold, distant, canceled dates, took hours to respond to messages. I tested it, sent her $500 out of the blue one day. "For emergencies," I said. Within an hour, she was at my condo, wearing lingerie, all over me, calling me her generous king. A week later, I said I couldn't afford to take her to the expensive restaurant she wanted. "That's okay, baby," she said flatly. "I'm busy anyway. Maybe next week." Next week came. I bought her a bracelet, $800. Suddenly she was free, had time for me, was sweet again. The correlation was undeniable. Money in equals affection. Money out equals coldness. But I ignored it, rationalized it. She's young, she's stressed, her family needs help. It's not about the money. One evening, we were lying in bed. She was scrolling through her phone. I was half asleep. "Baby, how much is your pension?" she asked. I opened my eyes. "Why?" "Just curious. You're retired, right? You get money every month?" "I get Social Security and a small pension from my company." "How much? Why does it matter?" She rolled over and looked at me. "I'm just wondering. You know, thinking about the future. If we stay together, I want to know we'll be okay." The future? She was thinking long term. That made me feel good. But the question still bothered me. "About 6,000 a month," I said. "It's not a lot." "That's good money in the Philippines," she said. "And you have savings too, right? From when you worked?" "Some. In my retirement account." "How much?" "Janelle, that's personal," she pouted. "I'm your girlfriend. I should know these things. What if something happens to you? I should know about your finances. What if something happens to you?" The words stuck with me. She was 22. Why was she thinking about what happens if I die? Because I was 69. That's why. Because the age gap meant death was part of the equation. "I have about 75,000 in savings," I admitted. "But that's for emergencies." "That's so smart, baby. You're so responsible." She kissed me. The conversation ended. But I felt uneasy. A week later, her cousin asked if I wanted to have dinner with Janelle's family in Bohol. Meet her parents. I went. Took a ferry to Bohol. Janelle's family lived in a small barangay outside Tagbilaran. Simple house. Concrete. Tin roof. Her mother greeted me warmly. Too warmly. Her father shook my hand firmly, studying me. During dinner, her mother asked, "So, Donald, you are retired?" "Yes, ma'am." "Good pension?" "Comfortable enough." "You own house in America?" "I sold it before moving here." "Ah, so you have money from sale?" Janelle jumped in. "Mama, don't ask those questions." But her mother smiled. "I'm just asking. Donald is family now. We should know. Family now." Her father asked, "You have property here? Condo?" "I rent a condo in Lahug. You should buy. Investment. Maybe Janelle can help you find good property." The whole dinner felt like a job interview. They weren't asking about me as a person, about my interests, my life, my values. They were asking about my finances, my assets, my income. I was being evaluated as a resource. On the ferry back to Cebu, Janelle said, "My family really likes you." They asked a lot of questions about money. "That's just Filipino culture. Family wants to make sure you can take care of me. Take care of her. Not build a life together. Not partnership. Take care of her." I was a meal ticket, a retirement plan, a foreign ATM, but I still didn't want to admit it. 9 months into our relationship, Janelle moved into my condo, said her cousin was moving to Manila and she had nowhere to go. I couldn't say no, didn't want to say no. Having her there made me feel less alone, but things changed fast. She stopped working at the mall. "I don't need to anymore," she said. "You take care of me." She stopped going to school. "I'll finish later. I want to spend time with you while you're still—" She stopped herself. "While I'm still what?" "While you're still here in Cebu," she said quickly. But I knew what she meant. "While you're still alive." Her family's emergencies increased. Her brother needed money. Her sister needed money. Her cousin needed money. Every week, someone needed something. I kept giving, because saying no meant she got cold again, and I couldn't handle her coldness. It made me feel even older, even more alone. Then one night, she left her Facebook open on my laptop. I wasn't snooping. I was just closing tabs. But I saw a message from her friend. "Haha, Janelle, how is the old foreigner? Still giving you money?" Janelle's reply, "Yes, haha, but he's getting suspicious. I need to be more sweet." Her friend, "How old is he again?" Janelle, 69. Almost 70, haha, but he has good money. Her friend, "Omg kadiri. You can sleep with Lolo? For money talaga." Janelle, "Money is money. Besides, not for long. He's old. Few more years." I stared at the screen, my hands shaking. Kadiri, disgusting. Lolo, grandfather. Few more years. She was counting down my life, waiting for me to die. I closed the laptop, went to the balcony, looked out at Cebu City lights, tried to breathe. Maybe I was overreacting. Maybe it was just girl talk. No, I knew. I'd known for months. Maybe I'd known from the beginning. But seeing it in writing made it real. I waited 3 days. Didn't confront her. Watched. Paid attention. She was sweet after I bought her new shoes. Cold when I said I needed to be careful with money. The pattern was clear. Then her brother showed up at the condo, 24 years old. Cocky. Looked me up and down like I was pathetic. "Kuya Donald," he said, using the respectful term that felt like mockery. "My sister says you're generous, man. What do you need?" "I want to start business. Small store. Need capital. 20,000 pesos. About $400. "That's a lot," I said. "For you? That's nothing. You're American. You have dollars." Janelle jumped in. "Baby, if you help him, my family will be so grateful." I looked at her. Really looked. Saw the calculation in her eyes. "I need to think about it," I said. Her brother's face darkened. "Think about it. My sister takes care of you. Sleeps with old man. And you need to think about helping family? Get out," I said quietly. "What?" "Get out of my condo." Janelle's brother stepped closer. "You don't tell me get out," I shouted. He left. Slammed the door. Janelle glared at me. "Why did you do that?" "He's my brother." "Your brother just called me an old man and implied you're prostituting yourself. He didn't mean it like that." "What did he mean?" She faltered. He needs help. And I'm the bank. That's not fair. Isn't it? Your family sees me as a walking wallet. Admit it. That's not true. Then what do they see me as, Janelle? Tell me, why does a 22-year-old beautiful girl date a 69-year-old man? She went quiet. Say it, I pressed. Why are you with me? Her eyes filled with tears. Because I care about you. Bullshit. I do. Then why did you tell your friend you're counting down the years until I die? Her face went white. You read my messages? You left Facebook open. That's private. You're waiting for me to die. She didn't deny it, just stood there, tears running down her face. Get out, I said. Donald, get out. She packed a bag. Left that night. I thought it was over. It should have been over. But 3 days later, she came back. Crying. Apologizing. I was stupid. I was wrong. I don't want to lose you. I love you. I let her back in. Because I was weak. Because I was lonely. Because at 69 years old, I didn't think I'd find anyone else. 2 weeks later, everything changed. I woke up one morning and checked my phone. My bank app showed a notification. Wire transfer, $73,000 sent to GCash account. My heart stopped. I opened the app, refreshed. It wasn't an error. My entire savings account. Empty. Janelle. She wasn't in bed. Wasn't in the bathroom. Wasn't in the condo. She was gone. I called her. Straight to voicemail. Texted her. No response. I called the bank. They confirmed it. Transfer made at 3:47 a.m. While I was sleeping. Who authorized it? I shouted. The transfer was made using the mobile app with the correct password and security code, sir. She'd watched me log in, memorized my password, waited until I was asleep. $73,000. Gone. I called the police, filed a report. They were sympathetic but useless. Sir, very common, young Filipina, old foreigner. You gave her access to your account. I didn't give her anything. She lived with you? Yes. Then she had access. Very difficult to prove theft. She will say you gave her money. I was destroyed. Financially, emotionally. 3 days later, Janelle's cousin called me. Donald, I need to tell you something. What? Janelle's family. They sent her to find old foreigner with money. They planned it. They saw you at the mall and told her to target you. My blood went cold. What? Her mother told me. They do this. They target old foreigners. Janelle is good at it. You're the third one. The third. There was Australian before you, and British before that. Both old men. Both she took money from. Her family splits it. I hung up. Vomited. It was all a lie. Every kiss. Every "I love you." Every time she called me baby. A 47-year age gap should have been my first clue. But I'd wanted so badly to believe someone could love me. I was just another old fool. I'm 71 now. 2 years have passed since that morning I woke up to find my savings gone. I never saw Janelle again. Never got a single peso back. The police investigation went nowhere. She changed her number, deleted her social media. Vanished. Her family's house in Bohol? Empty. They moved, probably to another city to run the same scam on another lonely old foreigner. I'm still in Cebu, still in the same condo, but I'm careful now. My daughter Amanda helped me set up new bank accounts with better security. We talk once a week now. She forgave me, said she's just glad I'm alive. Greg, the friend I blocked, reached out after he heard what happened. We're friends again. He introduced me to an American woman named Patricia. She's 62, a widow. Lost her husband 3 years ago. We've been dating for 8 months now. It's different with Patricia. We talk about the same music, remember the same history, have similar aches and pains. She doesn't want my money, she has her own pension. We split everything 50/50. When we go to dinner, nobody stares. We fit. We make sense together. There's no excitement like there was with Janelle, no rush of ego validation, no feeling young again. But there's peace, companionship, respect, real affection, the kind of relationship that happens between equals, not between a desperate old man and a girl young enough to be his granddaughter. Looking back, I see all the signs I ignored. Let me lay them out for you. Because if you're an older man reading this, especially if you're in the Philippines or Southeast Asia, you need to hear this. The red flags I ignored. 1. The age gap itself, 47 years. She was closer in age to my grandchildren than to me. That alone should have stopped me cold. 2. She specifically targeted older foreigners. Her cousin confirmed she'd done this twice before. I wasn't special. I was a type. 3. Her family's intense interest in my finances. Real love doesn't come with financial interviews from the parents. 4. Affection directly correlated with spending. Every single time. Money in, warmth out. Money stopped. Coldness started. 5. She stopped working and going to school immediately. Because I became her income source. Her full-time job was managing me. 6. The constant family emergencies. Every week someone needed money. It never stopped. It was designed not to stop. 7. Questions about my pension, savings, and property. She was calculating my net worth, planning the extraction. 8. Using my age as a weapon. Subtle comments about my health, about my energy, about how I needed her, making me feel like I'd never find anyone else. 9. Moving in fast and isolating me. Once she lived with me, she could monitor everything, and she pushed me away from everyone who questioned the relationship. 10. The timeline discussion. A few more years. She wasn't planning a future with me. She was planning for after me. Here's what I need you to understand if you're a man my age. If you're over 60 and a woman under 30 shows interest, be very, very careful. I'm not saying it's always a scam, but in the Philippines, in Thailand, in Vietnam, countries where the economic gap between locals and Western retirees is massive, these scams are common. Organized, multi-generational. Your age is not an asset, it's a vulnerability. These women aren't attracted to your gray hair and wrinkles. They're attracted to your pension, your savings, your desperation. Because yes, you are desperate. I was. The loneliness of retirement in a foreign country is crushing. When you're invisible back home, when your kids barely call, when you wake up every morning wondering what the point is, that's when you're vulnerable. That's when a beautiful young woman's attention feels like a miracle. But it's not a miracle. It's a business transaction you're too lonely to recognize. I lost $73,000, but I know men who lost everything, their entire life savings, men who signed over property, men who changed their wills, men who died broke, while the young Filipina girlfriend and her family laughed all the way to the bank. One guy, Greg, knows 74 years old, put his 26-year-old girlfriend on his bank account. She drained it and moved her real boyfriend into the house the old man was paying for. He found out when he came home from the hospital after a stroke. Another man, 78, married his 23-year-old girlfriend. Changed his will to leave her everything. Died 6 months later under suspicious circumstances. His kids are still fighting the inheritance case. This is a pattern, an industry, and old foreign men are the targets. I'm not telling you to never date in the Philippines. Patricia is Filipina American. Greg's wife is Filipina. There are real, genuine relationships. But ask yourself, why is she interested in me? Really examine it. If you're 70 and she's 25, she's not interested in your personality. She's not attracted to your body. She doesn't share your cultural references or life experiences. She's interested in your wallet. Date women your own age. Women who've lived a life, who have their own money, who want companionship, not a retirement plan. Because here's the truth, I learned the hard way. Real love doesn't have a 47-year age gap. Real love doesn't drain your bank account while you sleep. Real love doesn't count down the years until you die. I'm 71 now. I'm dating a woman 9 years younger than me. We go to the mall and nobody stares. We can talk about Reagan and cassette tapes and the Cold War because we lived through it together. She looks at me and sees a man. Not a bank account with a heartbeat. That's what I should have wanted all along. If you're reading this and you're in a relationship with a massive age gap, especially if you're the older person with money, please take a hard look at the reality. Are you being loved? Or are you being harvested? I was being harvested. I just didn't want to admit it until my entire savings was gone. Don't be me. Don't wake up one morning, 70 years old, broke and alone. Find someone who actually sees you, not your pension. I'm Donald. I'm 71 years old. I'm dating someone age appropriate for the first time in 3 years, and I'm finally at peace. You have been warned.